Good evening, chat. Still not feeling too well, unfortunately. In fact, I'm feeling a little bit worse in some respects. Feeling very sleepy today. I had a 2-hour nap at around, I can't remember, 1 o'clock? Felt like it was 1 o'clock. And didn't seem to take a chunk out of the old sleepiness. So this might be a slightly shorter one. Might be going to bed about the same time as Wolf. But that's alright. We will aim to pack as much enjoyment in the shorter time as we would have in the longer time. And that's been my week, or my day. I hope your day has been better, chat. I don't think it could be too much. Well, it wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it could be too much worse. It's not like I had to work as well. You know, I was sleepy at home. It just wasn't that much fun, if we're honest with ourselves. Now we're going to have a look at the weekly seasonal update, whatever you want to call it. I believe we're picking up another kind of 90s fast 4x4 from America. Can't remember the name of it. I think it's similar to the Cyclone that we picked up last week. But there's also a 90s 911. I think it's a 911 from 91. Which is almost... Oh, excuse me, chat. It's not you, it's me. Which is almost more interesting to me, assuming I don't have it already, and I don't know if I do or do not. Because I have grown to like, or appreciate at least, the 90s, or just the 911's shape and kind of design in general. Even if I do find it a bit weird, underwhelming, that they don't really do anything with it in terms of changing it. But for whatever reason, like the 2019, I think it was, 911 really kind of just clicked in my mind for some reason. So I've grown to love it. But that is 40 points. So that might be slightly beyond the realm of my botheredness. Because I have never tried to acquire 40 points. In, like, streaming or otherwise. How's your day been weird, Wolf? And hello to you too.
It's dry season out there, which means two things. Uncomfortable snow sledding on the volcano, and...
This week,
can
it's
do,
20
Wolf, can
points
do.
for the 1992 GMC Typhoon. It's kind of like
Oof.
the GMC Cyclone, but more tropical.
Damn, you're really just burning up your points, huh? So the Datsun 510 is what we're using for the trial. This is it, the 911 from 90. Kind of good looking.
Welcome back, comrade.
I just want to check if I have acquired that already. Like if it's a repeated listing. 2090. And I've got the reimagined 1990, but not the OG. Okay, well, it might be worth having a look at. Are these the... Hold on. What was it? It was the Datsun 510. These GTA races, are they the stunt races? Or are they just kind of circuit races? Now, we need to get to the top of B class. If I remember correctly, B700. But we will just check after we jump out of here. Top of B class. Let's do it. I did go through a phase of doing, nah, not feeling that. I was doing a lot of the GTA races when I first got the game because they were a quick and easy way to get money. At least that was my feeling at the time. That's probably changed because it's been a while back, and well, you know how game devs are. Well, game companies perhaps, not necessarily game devs. They don't really make good decisions, unfortunately, when it comes to the game itself. That's kind of old school sporty. That kind of 5-spoke rim. Damn, that's low as hell. Awesome. We've almost certainly got like a straight 4 or something in here. So we could have straight 6. Give us too much power. Another straight 4. A turbo rally straight 4. Oh, a twin turbo straight 6, which I'm pretty sure is from the Skyline. It's just not going to cut the mustard. The race transmission. Oh, we got to get the diff. Because we're hoping to have enough power to cause a little bit of wheel spin. I just don't know how much we'll be able to do without turboing it or whatever. No, we'll be able to do quite a bit. That's B693 right there. We're down here. Did we do the injectors? Yep, we did the... Yeah, let's guess that's more speed again. What happens if we do turbo it? Because the enhanced cams didn't really give us a huge amount of additional speed for what they are. Guess we just kind of try and lighten the load. Get a lighter driveline. Maybe a lighter overall existence. No, I can't afford that. Stiffer existence? Gives us a little bit better acceleration. Let's do that. Well, it was a D tier, but we're going for the top of B class. Mixed thoughts overall. I mean, that's pretty good. I can't really be bothered to get the full top. We're going to be effectively racing with players against AI. It's a mixed bag, my feelings about Need for Speed. I think it's cool that they're trying something out. And a lot of the customization options that they provide are also quite cool. We need to make those rims bigger. But the actual, like, racing model, the handling and the physics involved in that, not a huge amount of fun there, in my mind. And that's probably partly because I'm coming from a more sim racing perspective that Horizon has. Like, it's not motorsport, Forza Motorsport by any stretch, but it's built off of motorsport, so it's got that kind of racing DNA in it, which it feels like Need for Speed lacks. Wolf, send your idea. Use my steering wheel tonight or on Need for Speed. Because I'm probably not going to use it tonight. I'm just too eepy. I know I say need to, but when I'm not so eepy, I would like to say definitively I'll do it next week, but unfortunately we both know that it'll come next week, and then I'll be like, I forgot. I do need to do it though. So I think it would be a good meme. You died, Wolf? Damn. Is that Nissan? Can I not remember how to spell Nissan? Yeah, I did. We could get a redback spider or a black widow. Get a Mazda logo. Door panels. JDM Tour. 370Z. I'm not sure. Only because the Bible doesn't really talk too much, at least in like exact terms, about the internet in regards to heaven. So I can't say. You can intimate, like they talk about hell being the opposite of heaven and having eternal damnation. So one can assume that they have bad internet down there, being like internal suffering and stuff like that, and that does kind of evoke the ideas of slow internet and what have you. But as to, they don't really specify. Sorry, but then again, I'm not a biblical scholar. I mean, yeah, God probably does. He invented cranking 90s. I'm so much of a boomer that I have literally... I kind of get the idea of what a cranking 90 is. Kind of, but I really don't know enough to be able to, like, deploy it in a sentence with any sense of confidence that I'm doing it correctly. Like, I'm pretty sure it's to do with... Excuse me. Your character rotating 90 degrees and putting up walls, like, bloody quickly. But I don't know. I'm just not that in tune with Fortnite Zoomer culture. Drifting advisory, explicit angles, probably not going to be me, let's be honest. Drifting advisory will not be drifting. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Why does it have a Japanese flag? That's John Lennon. Was Yoko Ono Japanese? Maybe. Why is the Kuwaiti flag under JDM? Many questions. Very few answers. Toyota. My child is an honors student. We absolutely need that, chat. Like, there's no denying that. Because my child is an honors student. I do not know. Does he still stream, incidentally? Tyler Ninja Blevins of Fortnite fame? Because I remember he moved to Mixer. Then he came back to Twitch when Mixer exploded. But then I haven't really heard head nor tail of him. Not that I've been seeking him out, so I can't say I've been looking for the news. Oh, perfect. This car's coming together, chat. Do we have anything else? Any other suggestions for things to put on the car? I'm going for the usual... Oh, we could get a Subaru Stars. Be nice. Is it Spoderman? Because we can probably make that happen. Ah, Tyler Ninja Blevins. Well, it turns out you did. But yes, let's see. Let's just type in Ninja first. No, those are the cool cut type of ninjas. That's not the one we want. That's his signature, I think. But not what we want either. Surprising amount of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. Aren't ninjas Chinese? Not Japanese? Like samurai Japanese. Ninjas are Chinese, I think. Well, I'm not claiming to be a ninja expert, though. They might know better than I do. Tyler Ninja... Oh, let's try and spell all of these words correctly. What about... What if we do Ninja Fortnite? Huh. How does Ninja not appear in here? That is curious. I mean, I guess he's more of a FPS fella. Obama can't Gymkhana. I mean, yeah, probably not. But I don't think I should hold that against him. He was president, not president race car driver. I was wondering if this was going to be like a backdoor way to get Ninja on the car, on the whip. But it is not. So let's just make sure we know how to spell samurai. We do. Let's see what we get from samurai. We can search it. Yes, we can. Just waiting for a dramatic effect. Oh. Don't know why the internet's suddenly so slow. Let's go for that one because it's pretty sick. Also doesn't have any legs. It's a huge shame. Yeah, apparently mine has too. Or it is tonight at least. Don't know what's going on. Then again, I have noticed that my internet is worse during the day. Normally I don't experience it on a weekday because I'm at work. But I noticed today, well, this week, as I've been at home, that it does get a bit spotty during the middle of the day. Have you arrived already? Are you in the States? Welcome on in, Shadow, by the way. Wow, that was quicker than I thought it was going to be. That was a pretty good one. Let's flip you. Don't need to flip you, but we can probably afford not to flip you either. We're looking pretty cool. And my child is an honors student, so huge pluses all around. So does your boyfriend know that you're there yet? I'm doing fine enough. I'm still unwell. And I was super sleepy today. Like, I had a 2-hour nap. And I still feel just as sleepy as I was before the nap. Kind of wild. Thank you, by the way, Shadow, for tuning in. Very much appreciate the commitment to the stream. Good man yourself. Sounds like you're quite the catch. Yeah, that was basically to say, you normally clonk out about 2 hours in. I'm probably not going to be too far behind. I'm not going to keep checking to see if you're awake. Hey, Shadow, you're the one who's cooking a cake for your boyfriend at, like, what would it be? 6? 5, even? I mean, I guess you have an advantage because it is, to your body, it is actually 11:30. So it's probably just a regular day for you. You're up at normal time. Yeah. How long are you over there for? I can't remember. I feel like you said it was going to be a couple of weeks, but I can't recall. Oh, okay. About 2 weeks or so then. That'd be nice. Okay, I guess let's just try it out. So I do wonder if we should be taking cams. So we've only got a top speed of 224, and that's not huge by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, you've come at the perfect time then. And did you end up finding a car or whatever? Because I know you were talking about trying to hire a car and then do some sort of road tripping. I mean, you know, when in Rome, right? Might as well have a look. My family, for a long time now, because of my mother, has had, or at least my brother has kind of left it behind, but I have maintained it. My mother has too. A principle of, when are you going to be back here? So when you go overseas to, say, for me, when you go to, say, London or Paris or Moscow, as I went to in 2018, you do everything you can. Because you're not going to be back, or you might not be back. There's no guarantee that you will be back to see it again. And in the case of Moscow, I really doubt I will. Just because, I don't know. I know more now than I did back then in terms of the habits of Muscovites and the kind of Russians. They were awesome. Like, I do not inherently regret going. I just do not know if I could I don't think my conscience would allow me to go back. But when we were there, we did everything we could because we didn't know when we'd be back. So we smashed it all out. Now this should be a little bit faster because we don't have the aerodynamic drag. Oh wow, a whole 20 Ks. Okay, that's a bit less exciting. Well, okay, that's a good question. Where do you want to head to, Wolf? Ah, clever. Clever boy, Shadow. Well, I mean, that's not too beyond the realm of reason. That's just, I mean, globally at least, it's just down the road. Can't be more than a couple of hours away. I do think cams might be in order. My apologies for the ads chat, which are about to start in about 10 seconds or so. Do know they help the channel out. Yeah, I know. Everything's expensive now, unfortunately. Wonder if this will help us get more speed, but then we're losing a lot of upgrades. We also would have to get rid of the turbo. I don't know, I think 240 is maybe the best we can do. Means no cams. Yeah, it's not it's not maybe the most medically accurate way to wear a mask, but it's the thought that counts, right? There are few things more annoying than people wearing masks that do not cover their nose. You know, we've had several years to figure this out, guys. It's really not that hard. That's not to say that like, there are definitely times I should be wearing a mask when I'm not. But I do at least wear them properly. No, I've seen videos about them. And it seemed like a relatively clever hack, and as long as it is fully closed otherwise. But it is also, to me, it just seems like it's probably safer just to have a fully intact mask. Oopsie daisy, hit the mic. How was your flight, by the way, Shadow? Was it relatively straightforward to get to Nevada? Or no, Utah. To Salt Lake City, that's right. Okay, it's not handling terribly. I feel like it's going where I want it to, which is always helpful, right? But if we increase the turn in just a scotch, and also the caster. Maybe do that a bit too. I about halfway through the whole pandemic picked up a fabric mask, which instead of having like the straps that are on the ends of the mask, like two straps, one on each end, going around the... Well, that is an unusual commercial. He must be high. Instead of having loops at either end that go around your ears, it had one loop that went between the ends of the mask that went over your head. So it's quite difficult for me to put it on incorrectly in the sense of it not covering all of my orifices that I breathe with. I mean, commercials are always pretty whack. I need to have a look at my health insurance, incidentally. See if I can try and penny pinch a little bit there. Like, I don't want to get rid of it entirely and just go public, which I could. But yeah. And now you're in America. You're getting those Yankee commercials now, Shadow. That car behind me is, or to the right of me, is facing backwards. That's disconcerting. I bet that a lot of these cars will have all-wheel drive on the player's side.
I'm on power, baby.
Jow and chill session. No, unfortunately it's only mornings with Jow. I am effectively a morning talk show. Like the Today Show or, I don't know, Good Morning Great Britain or whatever it is. Bollocks. I mean, you're not wrong. It seemed that was very much the vibe we had when we were just kind of flipping engines and stuff. Just kind of vibing. Bolting and unbolting different pieces. Going to the repair bench and pressing spacebar like you're meant to. I'm assuming that's how it works in real life. You just look at it and press spacebar at the right time and it fixes itself. Well, the important thing is we're going to win overall. The humans will get the points, not the AI. We're going so much faster than this car was probably intended to go. This car was probably intended to go like 120 at the most. We're just zooming along. So like that, at like 150% its speed, I reckon. Okay, definitely not great, but not as terrible as I thought it might be. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Die roll is having some trouble there. What are these people went for the kind of rally style wide body kit? Or at least it's rally style in my mind. It's not particularly attractive having the intercooler pipes running through a headlight. Tell you what, chat, that Countach wide body that we made in Need for Speed Underground is kind of haunting my dreams a little bit. It was a good looking car. Black with orange underglow. Definitely a good combination. Setting up a vent. So what happened, Wolf, is our partner, the black lady, basically. I can't remember her name, and unfortunately that's the best way to describe her. That was sitting in our passenger seat. Betrayed us. Basically because she felt like she wasn't getting enough respect at the garage. And basically cleaned the garage out, including stealing that Countach that we made together. So the actual game storyline starts off 2 years after that event, when we're basically we decide to get back into street racing to win that car back. And to do so, we have to buy a car. So we bought a 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, which is a little bit slower than the Countach. So yes, we have finally bought our first car, and we also did find the other cars that the game had promised us. They are there when you go to choose the car that you wish to race with. Just not in the garage, so you can't like sell them or whatever. Where do you get your mods, Shadow? Because it's pretty slim pickings on the Steam Workshop. Do you get them from like a third-party website, out of curiosity? You do get them from the Steam Workshop. Oh, okay. Oh no, I did see a 400Z. Okay. Because I'm still debating whether to pick it up or not. I think on balance, I probably will. Because it seemed that people really enjoyed watching it. And if nothing else, I would like to get some of the more interesting DLC, like the Mazda DLC. Just because it adds a rotary engine in, which I think would be nice. Just a different engine type to play around with. No, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm trying to think, like, scheduling-wise, what to do on the channel. Currently, you may have kind of picked up on it. I'm trying to do a bit more of a motorsport focus in the hope that that will allow people to join the channel more easily, because they know that there's going to be some car stuff on every night, and that might just be easier to get people interested in. So it's, you know, been Forza on the Fridays, and then Car Mechanic Simulator, and now Need for Speed. But yes, Chaos Mod GTA 5 is absolutely something that I am really kind of interested to have a look at. I'm just trying to figure out when that turns up. Ideally when I've entered the third dimension. Like a tournament or something, Shadow, or? attorney. Oh, lovely jubbly. Don't mind if I do. We may not win the trial, but we did get a McLaren F1. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, trying to roll get the old, you know, not to sound too much like a influencer, get the community involved is definitely something I've been trying to think about.
I'm on power, baby.
Yeah, there's that AR12 gaming channel that you pointed out on the wide body kit of the Countach. They will do similar challenges where it's like they did one recently where it was a Le Mans, in theory a Le Mans style thing. So you make a Le Mans car with certain class limits and, you know, you can or cannot engine swap, rear wheel drive and all that kind of stuff. And that is something that I've been kind of interested in having a look at. Yeah. Which could be particularly interesting if you break out things, if you allow or disallow things like the auction house or whatever. I didn't ask before, I don't think. What kind of cake are you making, by the way, Shadow? A chocolate cake? A fruit cake? Vanilla? Marble? I haven't had a marble cake in a while. That was a really nice marble cake. Are you talking like a supermarket mud cake? Like a Coles or a Woolworths mud cake there, Wolf? They're alright. I mean, I haven't had one in a long while, I will concede. Maybe it's just that I'm lucky to be blessed with a mother who's definitely got a knack for baking. But I always did prefer her stuff. Damn, that sounds nice as hell. Oh yeah, I mean, just getting a cake on a non-birthday, you're living the dream. That's an impressive one as well, actually, I just realized. No one left the lobby, not even once. Yeah, I wouldn't have any idea. Like, if I was, you know, in the middle of nowhere without phone reception, I would have no idea where to start when it comes to baking a cake. I know, like, the basics that you need to put in it, like flour, milk, butter, but I have no idea the quantities or what have you that would be required, let alone the temperature. Yeah, you go to the local Coles and pick up a mud cake. So what's the problem? What even the problem is? Oh, we don't have enough. We might need to get some more of those points. Oh, we can almost certainly do that with the upgrades. Speaking of which, reasonably priced cars or classic muscle? Let's start with reasonably priced cars. That's kind of germane to the topic we were just discussing. Yes. It's kind of a mix over here, actually. But I think it would be more normal for them to be in Rams and what have you. But luckily I've got a plastic measuring cup which has both. So it's got milliliters on one side and then it's got cups on the other. Because then, like a typical imperial measurement system, it gets really confusing as you get into like teaspoons to tablespoons to cups and whatever, and it's just like, ugh. But obviously that's volume, which might be a little bit different.
400 meters. Turn left.
Well, la-di-da, Wolf, not all of us can eat the mud cakes from Coles. Some of us have defective stomachs that say no. I do not want to eat the mud cake from Coles.
Turn left.
I mean, you're not wrong. I can eat it. I will just have a slightly uncomfortable evening with more trips to the porcelain throne than I would ideally like. Like, I'm not going to keel over. I'll give you that. Absolutely, it's definitely a pay later scheme. Be taking out a loan on your intestines. You just need to hope that the interest rate isn't too high. And I haven't really experimented with it. I'm strictly lactose intolerant, but I'll happily eat ice cream and pay the price for that, but I've never really experimented with paying the price for eating like a slice of real bread or a slice of real cake with real wheat in it. So I don't actually know what what I would be asked to pay.
You have arrived at your destination.
What my my debt would be for such an action. Oof. I mean, Vegemite just makes me sick. Full stop, just to think about. I haven't had it for literal decades. Apparently I used to like it quite a lot when I was a kid. Like a young kid. I'm talking like 4 and below. But for whatever reason, I came to my senses and realized, nah, this ain't good. Not when I can have Nutella. Then again, I've never really understood the appeal to eating a spread from a container, full stop. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me, the idea of eating peanut butter or Nutella from the container. Now, what was it that we were looking for? It was B. No, we're going C. We're going reasonably priced cars to start with. Not a fan of the old peanut butter there, Shadow? You're in the wrong country for that. The little I know about the States, they love that stuff over there. We could try the Impala Super Sport. Don't think we've ever touched that before. I don't mind Reese's, but they're definitely not my go-to American chocolate. I think the Chevy Impala is probably the goer. Or the 2002 Turbo. But then again, if you're like anyone coming outside of America going in, you don't really go for the chocolate, if we're honest. Heavy, okay. Why am I in here? Not firing on all cylinders. Still. That would be a good one. I have used it at some point. I must have, because I've repainted it. Okay, can we... Is reasonably priced a category? No. That's a real shame, that is. I'll find the right button eventually, chat. Yeah, the EK, the BMW 2002. I really doubt that's reasonably priced, but we'll have a look at that. I'll go the Ford Lightning, because I would never really use that otherwise. Okay, so we've got a few ideas that we can pursue, a few leads, if you will. We wouldn't be able to touch that at all. Yeah, right, at least. I would not... They're collectors, I would have said, not reasonably priced. Where was that? We've gone past the Lightning. If we had it. Should be in here somewhere. In here. But it's not. Let's just get the Escort RS. I saw that before. That's fine. I'm not gonna bother going up and down the whole thing. Let's take it to the test track so we can get those Forza points. I don't think I ever have, actually. I may have one time when we went to a local car meet, I guess, at a high school. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, right? I mean, they could just say, this is a reasonably priced category for Jeff Bezos, so we put every car in here. Because he can pony up whatever the hell he wants. I feel like I want more support than just that one stand. It's got to be at like 100, easily. Go street tires. What are we? Are we front wheel or rear wheel? We are front wheel drive. Could change that perhaps. Yeah, what the hell? Why not? Let's treat ourselves. In terms of real world currency? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm slightly under. Slightly under. I knew there was going to be a few. Because they keep developing new ones. There's like a whole market for it. No, you try and name them all. You're the one looking at the article. Or whatever it is. You do it first. Are you serious? Is Rambo a name of Apple? Huh. There you go. Things you learn, chat. Come on, let's get that a bit lower, please. Let's turn you down a bit too, hey? Now, I don't think I've ever heard of a Braben apple. In the same way, I doubt you've heard of a Granny Smith apple. Ah, there you go. They made them over. They made their way across the ocean to you guys. Didn't expect that. I'm not particularly fond of apples, full stop, to be honest. I don't quite know why. I think it's more of a personal failing than anything else. Increasing wrist stiffness. We need to decrease wrist stiffness. Oh yeah, pears are lovely. I had the pleasure of getting some hard-boiled sweets from my mum from a trip they went on, and they had some pear-flavored sweets in it. Oh, it was lovely. Really nice flavor. And pear cider, I much prefer to apple cider. Really nice. Really nice drink. If I'm having to get something alcoholic, pear cider goes down real smooth. Absolutely, 100%. Alright, I think we're doing pretty well. The other one is the Swedish one. At least it's in this, down here it is, which is kind of like a berry cider, which is really nice. A bit expensive, but nice. I don't know. I don't recognize the name, at least. We've got the Horira, which is lovely. Looking forward to that one. The SL65. Alright, let's see what we can do. No, I don't think I have. Or at least, no. I may have had them in something else. But no, I don't think I've ever had them on their own. I don't think I've ever seen orange berries, actually, now that I think about it.
Turn right. Turn left. In 100 meters, you will arrive at your destination. You have arrived at your destination.
Ah, yeah, light cheese. I've never had them, though. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm a little bit of a coward when it comes to foods. Like, it's only in the past maybe 3-4 years that I've actually like bought mushrooms, because previously I just would never put them on anything if I could avoid it. That's not a particularly appealing name for them. Do you like light cheese? Okay, good. Because if you didn't, that could be rough. I think my favorite fruit of all is probably the mandarin. It's just the most practical fruit of all. I didn't know I could be driving my favorite Civic. Totally would have done that. Hey look, it's the Eclipse that we're driving in Underground. I think it's because I was brought up in a household that didn't eat mangoes, but I'm not a huge fan. The other one that's good that's in season these days is the kiwi fruit. The golden ones in particular. I've got a packet from Aldi this week. Really nice. I think I like mandarins so much because I'm of like a practical standpoint. You can just like take them with you. They've got a little case around them so they don't get dirty. You can just put them in your pocket. And then you can kind of put the case, you know, the skin in a bin or just in the garden and it'll biodegrade. It's just like the perfect fruit to take on the go. Oh, hell yeah. Well done, you. I can't imagine that would be super easy. I mean, I know they're meant to grow from the fruit. That's like what they're meant to do. But, you know, it's not guaranteed, right? Damn it, Jow. Getting a bit too ambitious on those corner cuttings. A little while to get up to speed, but we did all right in the end. Honda Civic from 2007, my beloved. Is that a walking trail or a driving trail? Where am I? There's one. No? Where am I? What am I doing? I swear I turned some of this off. Make sure you pack lots of water. Hold on, I turned off the speed ads, didn't I? Yeah, so what gives? Why are you still turning up? So there's one there. Oh, and there's the other one over there. Okay. Well, there's kind of a distance from each other. I'm used to them being a bit closer.
It is safe to do so.
I mean, you can at least leave the deodorant in the car. But yes, it's probably best to have it for an enjoyable drive home or whatever.
Turn right.
So is it called a dinosaur trail because there's a lot of fossils or what have you, or is there another reason for it? Okay, that'd be really cool. Very cool to do that then. I haven't done it in a while, but one of my favorite things to do when we went to the beach as a family would be to go rock pooling. Just to kind of have a look at the different pools and the little worlds that they contained within. I know it's almost entirely unrelated to what you were talking about, Shadow. But basically I don't think I've ever really encountered much in the way of fossils in the wild, unfortunately. Maybe one or two here and there. Yeah. Seeing that kind of the landscape that you've seen so many times in TV and film and stuff like that. Being like, damn, so it is actually real, huh? There you go. Ah, classic. Speaking of which, did you watch any good films on the plane? Because, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Indiana Jones films. I think, unfortunately, the most recent time I saw it was the Crystal Skull. Which I didn't mind as an idea. I think it's an idea that could have worked, but obviously it did not. Tornado intercept vehicle, is that from Mad Max? Oh, do you mean like storm chasers kind of thing?
Turn left.
There is definitely something in me that thinks it would be interesting to see a tornado from a distance. And there's also a part of me that wonders what it would feel like to actually be in an earthquake. Not that I would wish that on anyone, but I'm just... I guess I'm curious to know what it feels like when, like, the most... Something that we put so much faith in, the ground, that it'll just be there. The ground will be there because it's the ground. You know, where's it going to go? And then it just starts shaking. It just seems so unnatural to me that I'd be fascinated by it. Probably terrified though, if I'm honest. Probably wet my pen. Let's be frank. Marvel films are definitely... I feel like, for me, the Marvel films are a shotgun method. There are a few that I quite like. Yeah, probably. Wolf, you probably can. But for the most part, certainly nowadays, I don't particularly care about the Marvel universe that much at all. I think it's because there's too many of them, obviously. You know, that's how you get oversaturated. But there's only so many ways that the story's going to play out, right? Yeah, that too. And they're also very... safe about it as well. They have been doing some experimentation, but they very rarely will go and decide to like swing for the fences and try out something experimental. Like, by far and away, my favorite superhero film is the, well, actually, I don't know. It's a toss-up between the Batman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And neither of those are Marvel productions. I haven't really watched them in a long while, and even then I don't think I was paying too much attention to them. Before the Batman, my favorite superhero film was probably Batman Begins by Christopher Nolan. Just because it felt... The reason I like both of those films, I think, in big part, is because the worlds that they inhabit feel like a real Gotham that could exist. And I think Tim Burton's was probably more of a... what's the word? A comic accurate one. You know, with the really tall Gothic skyscrapers and the kind of Futurama 1930 highways between these giant skyscrapers and stuff like that. But maybe not the... Didn't seem as, I guess, believable a world, but it was more believable than the Adam West one. Like, it's easy to forget that the Tim Burton stuff was a gritty reboot of Batman at the time.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Absolutely, they were.
200 meters. Turn sharp left. Turn sharp left.
But I mean, that's why people love them, isn't it? And it was like, it made no apologies. It was 100% a kids show, show, yeah. Whereas the Tim Burton one was definitely moving more towards a kind of
400 meters. Turn
teen
right.
or older audience, and then the Christopher Nolan ones and the Batman,
Turn right.
I would say, are definitely more towards an adult kind of end of the spectrum. The pow, and there's that with the kind of brass instrument stinger to emphasize it. I don't think I've ever actually seen a full episode of an Adam West Batman. Think about it. But that said, my favorite part of the Adam West Batman universe is the kind of the Batman logo transition screen. You know, where the Batman logo comes forward and back, and then you're in a different scene. Fantastic, love it. Great meme potential. Well, Dr. Zeus is an author. Wolf, going back to your previous message, it could be the Lorax. That is the superhero. think I saw a little bit of Transformers in the 80s. Not because I was alive then, but because the video shop when I was growing up had some of it around the place. Because that was all the Transformers was back then in the 90s. It was the stuff from, you know, earlier. Or in Beast Wars as well. But I did see a lot of the kind of older, what's the word? Older Voltron animes, which were quite interesting. I enjoyed them. Why is this Eclipse hitting a lot more speed than I am in Need for Speed? Both fine shows to be watching, Wolf. Well, that is a shame. Doctor Who can be a little bit hit and miss. But when it hits pretty good. And as I've said before on the stream, the Thunderbirds was always interesting to me. Not from like a story standpoint or anything, but just it was fascinating looking at the world and seeing all the different kind of vehicles and stuff they had in it. The different technology and what have you. It was just the coolest part. And not even just like the Thunderbirds vehicles themselves, but like the vehicles that they would rescue people from, or you know, try to stop or whatever. That kind of retro futuristic look at, I don't know when Thunderbirds is actually set, but I'm assuming like a lot of other things, 2000 probably. Out of those two, I really only watched Matt Smith, and I did enjoy Matt Smith. Matt Smith's first season, because I think he had 3, maybe 4, was definitely a lot more serious, and maybe it was because I was getting older or it was getting more childish, I don't know, but it definitely kind of got a bit less serious as it went along. I mean, the trouble with Game of Thrones is that the end of it isn't good. I think no one regards it as a good ending. But apparently, like, the first 4 seasons were like some of the best television you can possibly watch. Yeah, I mean, Walking Dead in particular, because I'm pretty sure it's still going. There's just too many episodes. Okay, let's try and get the Falcon XA GTHO. Out, and we'll go do this. We'll just pop in the crib real quick and update the
Turn around
car.
when it is safe to do so.
But if you want a show with literally unlimited episodes, then you need to watch something like The Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, those kind of things, where they had like daily episodes for years. In Australia, it was on in Australia. I don't know if it still is. I don't know if it still exists, to be honest. But in Australia, we had fallen out of sync with the Days of Our Lives because of things like the cricket. The cricket would come on and that would take precedence over Days of Our Lives, so we wouldn't get that week's episodes. So we'd miss out. We'd be losing weeks here and there until we were out of whack by years. And then basically what they did is they had like an hour-long, 2-hour-long show to update us on like 10 years of storyline that we'd fallen out of. So as you can tell, not the fastest moving program in the world. If you can update your audience on what's happened over the course of 2 years in like the space of an hour or so, not a huge amount happening. Yeah, we're going to leave this rear-wheel drive because of course we are. But we're going to get big wheels in the back. Let's just focus on handling for this, I reckon. Maybe a better gearbox too. Just applying the power that we have better. More better. Not to insult the engineers of Ford Australia. Or the other one over in England, what's it called? Something Street, whatever it is. That's kind of like Home and Away. A drama set on one street. Coronation Street, thank you. It's another one that's been on for literal years. The bill would have also qualified until maybe 10 years ago. Everyone and their mums had been on that program. Is this the army brother or is this another brother? Cool. Well, there's worse places to go than England for a army stint.
When it is safe to do so.
Well, I figured he wasn't going there on a vacation. Where is he? I can't imagine he's got too much leave at this point. Yeah, I figured as much. Which, not to be rude to your brother, is somewhat ironic, seeing as wasn't he just in basic training 4 months ago?
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Oh well. Be a cool gig. There's no reason to be a tool about it. I mean, it's quite likely that a lot of the Ukrainian soldiers have been in more combat than, you know, each individual soldier's been in more combat than the entire Australian army has been for the last 5 years. Can't imagine there's that many fresh Ukrainians anymore. And even then, whether they wanted to be or not, they've been in the war with the Russian air raids on their cities and stuff. Sorry about the ads, chat. Get out of the way, golf cart.
You have arrived at your destination.
Let's show them what some Australian muscle can do, huh? Oh, it's just a NASCAR loop. I didn't even consciously recognize what we were doing here. Probably shouldn't have gone for a handling setup then for this race. Not going to be super ideal for the situation we face. Around in circles. Speaking of NASCAR, chat, if you're at all interested in NASCAR, I'm sure you saw that an Australian on debut won the inaugural Chicago street race in NASCAR. Very cool. I mean, that's nothing new to an Australian, particularly one who's been in the V8 supercars. That street racing is kind of the supercars' bread and butter. I think it's the Sunshine Coast that does the street race over there. Not the most mentally stimulating of events, but I think, to my mind, that's NASCAR for you.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I was interested by the street circuit they did in Chicago recently because it seemed like a more interesting style of racing rather than just going around in loops. I've never understood why that is entertaining. Just doesn't seem I don't know. Obviously, it's not easy. This doesn't seem difficult though. But who am I to judge? I am not a race driver. But I think you gotta at least have a car that, a racetrack that turns in two directions, left and right. Not just kind of like a speed endurance race, which is what the loops seem to be to my eyes. That's alright. You have a good day over there, and I hope your birthday plans for the BF go well. And thank you for dropping by. And, you know, enjoy your time if we don't see you again. We're doing pretty well, chat. Pretty well. This course does feel longer than I remember it, though. Maybe it's my tired mind kind of misremembering and or extending things. Why do you need Netflix so much, Wolf? What do you feel like you're missing out on? What do you want to be watching? Stranger Things? Black Mirror? Other programs on Netflix? I mean, I only really watched The Witcher Season 1. And apparently they're not super accurate to any of the source material, which is a point of pain for much of the Witcher community. But did you enjoy the first and the second season? I mean, yeah, I reckon it is. Henry's Cavill's just too much of a professional to say it out loud. And or may not be able to, given the contract he's in. I haven't read any of the books, and I really should. Because I really enjoyed the game. And the story more specifically in the game of The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3. I haven't played the first one. Because I really only picked it up around the time The Witcher 3 turned up. And I didn't feel like I could go back to The Witcher 2 graphically. But I felt going back to The Witcher 1 maybe a step too far. Oh, he loves them. That's why he signed on originally. One of those projects where the actor says to the agent, if you hear anything about this, you tell me because I want it.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Supposedly now he's doing some sort of Warhammer project. Some description. It's another one of his passions. Which could be interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Yes. And he kind of already has a little bit of a demo reel being James Bond in the form of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. The film from, I don't know, at least 5 years ago now, where he plays an English spy in the Cold War. Maybe with a bit more comedy than I would like in a Bond film, but, you know, a little bit of a demo reel. And you could do worse than him as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens with James Bond, because I think a lot of people, well, Daniel Craig certainly seemed to think that he shouldn't have been in the last James Bond film, because wasn't there all that palaver with trying to get him to play it again? Play the role again? There's a lot of will he, won't he, if I remember correctly. Obviously he ended up will he, but for a while there it was won't he. From what I've heard John Wick series described as the 5 stages of grief, and I haven't been bothered or wanted to look into it that closely, but having a 5th and final film would make sense from a viewing from that standpoint. No, I've only seen John Wick 1. Oh no, I've seen John Wick 2. I've only seen the first 2. I haven't seen any of the other ones because John Wick 2 kind of left me a bit cold. John Wick 1 I quite enjoyed. John Wick 2 just felt a bit too, like, superhuman. If you're looking to spoil it, Wolf, I'm not going to complain. Let's be honest, I'm not going to watch John Wick for the story or the twists, am I? Go, send it, Wolf. Send your traffic. But I mean, at this point, John Wick's killed, like, the population of some city-states. I just realized I didn't do any tuning for this car. I just don't remember doing it. So we're just kind of driving it. What did we do something to the... No, that was in the Escort that we did something to the diff. I haven't done anything to this bad boy. I'm not doing too badly then. I mean, it's hard to do better than first place, but, you know. I guess I could have gotten here sooner. I guess the closest thing to seeing another John Wick film was I saw Atomic Blonde, which was kind of like, and I think it was quite obviously pitched as a lady John Wick. It was alright. It was rough in some parts, but on balance it was pretty good, I think. Nice little skip. Wouldn't say it's a jump. I wouldn't say it's a full jump. It was a skip. Little bounce, little poop. The finish line. Crushed it. All for a 2008 BMW M3 with the power bulge in the bonnet to fit the engine, supposedly. Accolades. Accolades. We're getting emotes. Oh, speaking of which, festival playlist. Shop B. Let's get a jumper. Let's have a look at the event lab. A-class rally set at night, light rain, just the right amount of lightning, 6 miles total, built with the RS200 Hooligan 800 A-class. Enjoy. And Horizon Festival has remixed the classic Arch of Mulgi circuit into a 3-mile Grand Prix layout, tackle tight corners, overpass bridges in this reimagined city circuit. Sound nice. Let's start with this one. And let's try and get there a little bit quicker. Want to drive. RS7, definitely more comfortable. Not quite the vibe I'm looking for. We're getting our Bentley. The Turbo R Bentley. Getting a BMW. There's so much choice at this point in the game. Getting a Chevy. I could get in the C8 now that Shadow's not here and not feel guilty about it. So in that movie, John Wick is fighting a special type of villain, one where the table will give them everything to kill John Wick later in the movie. An old friend who's blind comes to attempt to kill John Wick, so does an American man with a dog basically to kill the villain. You have to do an old-fashioned duel. John managed to get a meeting with the villain to decide when the duel would happen, basically to decide the sunset the next day. So is that duel happening in theory in the 5th movie, or did it happen in the 4th one? Let's drive a Dodge Viper. We haven't done that in a long while. Okay, sorry. Apologies, chat. We need to wait a little bit. Continue, Wolf. I mean, I could have this car in black and orange, but I feel like a Dodge Viper just needs to be red, you know? Some cars scream a certain color, right? I don't think that's a controversial statement to say. A lot of 90s in particular, Porsches scream yellow. Lamborghinis scream yellow, I feel. Ferrari's red. I think the Dodge Viper screams red. In fact, all of Dodge screams red. In the same way that a lot of... Excuse me, chat. A lot of Ford screams blue. Trying to drift challenge in a drift zone.
At the roundabout, take the 3rd exit.
I'll take the first exit. Basically the high table gets everyone to chase John, kills a few hundred people in the scene, basically manages to make it to a duel. American the dog and the blind man team up to get him to the duel. The villain comes upon the blind man to the duel. John, basically they go 3 rounds, each time injuring the other person. Basically in the 3rd round, John survives, so does the blind man, but John didn't shoot the villain. Goes up to finish, that's when John shoots him in the head. Okay. I think it's just a bit much. That was my description of John Wick 2. I feel like in John Wick 1, it seemed not entirely unreasonable that this one fellow could probably, particularly given the reputation that he supposedly has, do what is described in the film. But in John Wick 2, it's like,
In 400
damn,
meters, you will arrive at your destination.
there are so many people that this guy's murdered.
You have arrived at your destination.
There is no way in hell that this makes any sense. So he supposedly dies. He dies in the 4th one. Not supposedly. He dies in the 4th one, but supposedly there's a 5th one. Maybe it's like a John Wick Jr. situation. A son that he didn't know he had now has to kill everyone for some reason. And this, of course, it's a prequel, which is probably the worst outcome. Fancy streetlights. How did you feel about... Wow, very pretty colors. How did you feel about the rest of the film? Like, was it one of those films where it's like, yeah, it was good at the end, but for a lot of it, it was kind of eh? Or was it a good film overall and the ending was good as well? Okay. And I guess to compare my feelings, how did you feel about... This is a really good looking... Like, just lighting wise, this is a good looking map. How did you feel about John Wick 2? Because that was the one where I kind of was like, okay, this is getting a bit much. Yeah, that's the thing, when it's... I feel John Wick 1 was pretty much the perfect level of murder, for lack of a better term. And I feel it's like they have to, because it's the sequel. It has to get bigger and badder and, you know, more badass, I mean. But it's just like, there's no way in hell this man is killing 300 guys. There's just not. Like, I appreciate he's good at what he does, but he's not that good. He's not a... I mean, that's basically what he is. He is a superhero. Just not, you know, without the actual superpowers. He's a superhero for the guys who are like, I like pistols. Oh, yeah, I'll buff that. Feel right in the sense of like, this doesn't make sense, or feel right in the like, oh, I feel a bit queasy after seeing his finger get cut off or whatever. Yeah. Do you mind sharing with the class what happened? Very civilized to keep the path as lit as it is. I think it was it in the first one where he goes to a back alley doctor? I feel like that's a scene in one of the John Wick films, but maybe I'm wrong. One of those stereotypical crime... What's the word? Surgeons. Oof. Ow. I mean, at that point you gotta wonder, is this worth it? The white hotel boss guy or the Lance Riddick hotel guy? Okay, well, unfortunately it turns out that was not a bad idea, story-wise, given his untimely death, but it is a bummer. He was definitely one of the cooler... Oh, well, there goes the rest of that sign. One of the cooler characters. He's always got a kind of weird swagger, I guess you'd call it, to him. A weird kind of gait in his walk, which is definitely very Lance, basically. He was definitely, he was right up there with Keanu Reeves as like part of the movie's identity. Should probably check the old message center while we're here. Super wheel spins. Well, it sounds like that was effective storytelling then. No, we'll send it as a gift. Someone will probably want that. I always send it to new people because I feel like they're just going to be more excited by it because they're less likely to have the car. But I feel like at this point in the game's life, there can't be that many new people. But I don't know. Maybe there are. Getting something a little bit faster. You gotta have matching epitaphs on the tombstone. It would be weird if it said loving wife and then just said John Wick. Really good, excuse me, really good murderer. Just looking for a car, chat. As weird as it sounds, like just looking for a car to drive. Let's hop in the E-Type. Loving wife, I killed them all. I was thinking about the DeLorean. But obviously I didn't go with the DeLorean. We could go with the DeLorean in Need for Speed though. That was in there, after all we saw it on the title screen. Can't be long now, you're right. Should be turning up in the next 5 minutes or so, I would imagine.
At the roundabout,
Oops,
take the
didn't
first
quite nail
exit.
that corner. Because this is one I also haven't tuned, actually. But while we're driving, I feel like we're losing a lot of that hearing off the edge of the page. Thank you very much for your presentation. There you are. Thank you for dropping by, Stay Healthy Bot. John Wick mad. John Wick kill people. I mean, at this point, is there anyone left to kill in the 5th movie if there is one? Like, what's the point, you know? Like, sounds like he's already got everyone he needs to get. Probably a bunch of people he doesn't need to get as well. Yeah, I'll probably end up... I'll probably do this, and I'll, yeah, by about 10:30 I'll probably call it. Just because, yeah, the eyes are getting heavy, and as you've probably noticed, a lot of yawning tonight. Even by my usual standards, a lot of yawning.
400 meters.
But thank you for joining me for the time you have, Wolf. I appreciate it. And thank you for explaining John Wick 4 to us. Yes. See you tomorrow for some more Need for Speed. Hopefully it I get used to it or it gets better, either or. I'm fine with it. I'm not picky. Just both of the speedos pegged to the right hand side. That was one thing I never... Because back in my Horizon 2 days, when I was a weird one, I would drive almost exclusively in cockpit view. So I was very allergic to doing cam upgrades, because it would make the car rev significantly higher than it was originally designed for. So you'd have this situation where it would just be right at the edge of the tachometer. And would just not look right in my eyes. So I just wouldn't do it on an older car. Like the E-Type, obviously, and the 300 SL, Gullwing. That was another one that I enjoyed driving. I'd just not do the cam upgrade. I didn't really do any online at that point, so it didn't matter that much. But it did mean that the cars were probably not as fast as they could conceivably have been at their maximum of upgradedness. And also it wouldn't be this car that we see here because I've upgraded the engine.
Turn left.
Tried to keep it as original as possible. Alright, let's have a look at this Grand Prix circuit we've got here. For Grand Prix circuit, we probably want a Grand Prix kind of car. BAC Mono sounds like a good shout then. Probably should have a racing helmet. Or at least sunglasses to protect my eyes. This is a lot tighter than I remember it. you don't normally go up here. You go around the outside. Excuse me. Telephone? Excuse me, barrier? This is another car I haven't tuned, actually, now I think of it. Definitely not desperate for a tune though, so that's alright. We can live with it. Oh, just missed it. I do like the BAC mono. It is a very futuristic looking car. The only thing I think I would like is a cockpit, that's all. Like a glass canopy, that's the word. Canopy for the cockpit. Just so I wasn't so exposed to the elements. Sorry, Council, for destroying a lot of your local infrastructure. These racing lines are definitely deceiving in this one. There is something very cool about just being sat in the middle. Of these two wheels. You very clearly see like how wide the car is. Like if I had the canopy, I wouldn't necessarily even ask for air conditioning. It'd be nice. But what I'd be principally looking for would be just protection from the elements. I guess you will be having a helmet on even if you did have the... Or you'd be wise to have a helmet on. Even if you did have a canopy, so it wouldn't really make too much of a difference. Worst comes to worst, you could get one of those, like, canoe covers. You know, the ones that you kind of wear so you become part of the canoe. Cover your legs, you kind of sit out of it, so it's watertight, or at least rainproof. So you could do something like that, maybe. Just gotta make sure it doesn't restrict you. Your evacuation in a crash. How do we end up going? They don't need 40 points. What would we need to do to get that? Holden hero stuff. Some of the PR stuff. And y'all, I don't know if I can be bothered. I just don't know. I mean, one way we could do it is just getting the final points for low team.
Turn around when it is...
Now, what are those? What are the final points for low team? Get over there real quick. Get in the fast car. The I need to get places quickly car. The Aston Martin Valhalla.
In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left.
We haven't tuned this car, I don't think, either. Probably give you a bit more speed, though. No, not really. Lower the right height.
Turn left.
Let's go find out what the high-low stuff is. You can at least have a look at what stars we're missing, even if we don't do them. You know, knowledge is power, after all. Something so incredibly cool about the Valhalla. This
Turn
looks
around
fast.
when it is safe to do so.
The exhaust pipes on the, like, where the rear window should be. Very cool. Now, where in tarnation did that notification come from? Place I didn't close because I looked up Samurai. Do I need to turn off early? Yeah, probably. I'm going to take this turn off right here. It'll be terrifying living in Mexico
400 meters,
when the Horizon Festival's on.
turn left.
I mean, it'd be terrifying living in any country with the Horizon Festival going on. Yeah, you're just driving down the road and then you just get T-boned out of nowhere by a Aston Martin Valkyrie traveling at 300 kilometers an hour. You will just cease to exist.
400 meters.
Unless you might have a slight amount of schadenfreude about destroying a $1 million car. The fact that you're dead is probably going to be a bit of a dampener on your emotions.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Took a lot longer than I thought it would.
You have
But we're
arrived
here
at
now.
your destination.
So it'd be... Okay, well let's give it a shot. See if we can do it in a minute 52. I'm not super confident we can, but, you know, it's worth trying, I guess.
No way! You
Oh, that's
brought
right, we can't
Harley to
skip any of
Mexico.
this.
Technically, I brought high car because I thought someone else could break it for a change.
And I brought low car because it's the only one in our parking lot that's running right now.
Then I brought Zach Job because he's my super cool and handy road trip buddy.
Also, I'm the professional and better driver than James.
I came to check out the Horizon car scene. I've been trying to get to the Horizon Festival forever.
I came because I was hungry.
Wait, if we're all here, who's watching the shop?
My dog's got it.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Thanks, comrade. Good yes-anding.
Wait a sec. You get high and low Z's, and I get stop.
Dude, you have the most important job at Donut right now.
I do?
I still think she sounds different. My character. Gonna follow up on that, Humphrey?
We're always debating between
There
high
we
and
go.
low car, right? What's better, cheap and charming or top of the line? What if there was a third option?
Let's try that again. Gonna get serious about these angles.
Who likes good news? Everyone?
Kind of.
Then good
Thank you
news,
for the follow,
everyone.
Black Dish.
The coming of...
I'm glad you like what you see. How's
car has been
your
spoken
week
of
treated you
like-
so far?
Ah.
Okay, we're just gonna be on this corner for a little bit, chat. So get comfortable. I hope you enjoy
I
this
think I see where you're going
50
with
meters
this.
of scenery, because we're gonna see it a few times. That'll do. Damn it, James. So aggressive.
But right now, Team High are headed north and Team Low are headed south. So, you gotta pick one. Pick Team Low. High team, for real.
Okay, we're still maintaining our place in first. Which seems a bit unreasonable given the
Either way, we've got
upgrades
tons
they've
of
given
cool
to their
stuff planned.
cars, but they are also
Shoot some videos, check out
reliability
some cars,
just
have some
disasters, so
very
it's
special
maybe not that
good
unreasonable
times.
actually.
What happened to cars are pain?
Cars are pain with the heart, dude. The heart is the most important part.
Come on, I've got 6 seconds. We missed it again. Damn it.
Way to handle the fair lady. You're gonna fit right in on low team.
High team.
Low team.
Is that intercooler upgraded on that car? Looks more la-di-da. So we're retrying it again, chat. Hopefully we don't have to do the cutscene again. Thank goodness. That would be just a bit too much for me.
Wait a sec. You get
This
high
is
and low
already
Z's,
going to be a
and
bit
I
rough, but at least we don't have to see the
Dude,
cutscene
you
again.
have the most important job at Donut right now.
I do?
Awkward pause while Nolan figures out that he's got a walkie-talkie on this person.
We're always debating between high and low car, right? What's better, cheap and charming or top of the line?
What if there was a third option? Some kind
Nope.
of
Hit the change view while I went for the accelerator.
coming of mid-car has been spoken of in legend.
Ah. I think I see where you're going with this.
The fact that he's pulling away like that indicates to me that we are going slower than we were last time.
But right now, Team High are headed north and Team Low are headed south. So,
I reckon once we take this right
Team
corner,
Low. High team,
could
for
be
real.
worth thinking about taking a slightly more aggressive route in terms of directness. What I mean is we might be doing a bit of bush bashing. So we'll follow the road here. And then we're just going to slingshot off here.
Either way, we've got tons of cool stuff planned. Gonna shoot some videos, check out some cars, have some very special good times.
What happened to cars are pain?
Cars are pain with the heart, dude. The heart.
There we go.
Way to handle the fair lady. You're gonna fit right in on low team.
High team.
I mean, didn't even shatter the windshield at all. Obviously, the headlights have seen better days. That's a small sacrifice for 3 stars. That's the other thing we should check first. Because is that overall, or is it just for this week? Because if it's just for this week, that's good. If it's not, then that's not ideal. We'll try the other 2 just once at least. And then we might raid on out. It's a shorter one today, chat, because I'm just very EP. So EP, in fact, that I didn't even pay attention to
car connoisseur picking low team.
what
Or maybe
level
you're
we
just
would
cheap.
had achieved in the
That's
last
cool, no
car.
judgments.
In the last, what level we had achieved last time in this mission. There we go.
I'll take you for a spin in low car. You'll see there's nothing cheap about it.
I mean, I like to get value for my money. Nothing wrong with that.
Where are we off to? And just seeing if there's any good place to do a shortcut. And I don't know. That's the answer to that question,
Want to
unfortunately.
hear
I
some
don't know.
stories about Low Z? Trust me, you want to hear some stories about Low Z. Now let's say you're not a Horizon superstar. You don't make the big bucks, but you still want a fun daily drive you can take to the track. That's low car.
Another way we can
Turbo, suspension, brakes,
cut this
wheels,
way.
tires, lights, body kit, paint job, all for just 20 grand. You didn't have to spend twice as much for a ruddy car. Hold on a sec. Man, Mexico is beautiful. Wait, you gotta hear about when we sprayed this thing. Nolan did a terrible job, but then he did it again and it was better. So I wasn't in the car on track day when this happened, but Nolan said it made a pop noise. And then, long story short, the best car
There's the road.
is the one that runs. I'm not sure if low car can afford a top shelf driver like you.
As long as we're a top shelf shortcut getter, that's the important part.
Anyway, that's Low Z. Whatever the result, it was an awesome build.
Come on, Jeremiah. Which team are you?
Are you kidding? Low team all the way. This Z has a special place in all our hearts. It's the hero of the show.
We should make it in good time.
Send it, dude.
Less good than I thought, but good enough. 15 seconds under 3
Solid
star.
drive. No one probably wishes you were there on track day.
Jeremiah, you got done dirty. Alright, 3 stars. Wow, we are on the other side of the map? Not as far away as I thought, but we're still going to fast travel in the interest of brevity. Bumper to bumper. Okay, so we're going drifting. So this is not going to go well. As those who have been in the channel for a while,
While they try to
Jow and
figure out
drifting
what's
does
wrong with
not
Low
go well
Z,
together.
You and I are going sideways with style, blower to body kit, bumper to bumper on our Formula Drift 96 Nissan 240 SX. Let's go.
Let's go indeed.
You ready to get drifty?
Don't let me get in my zone.
This thing raced in the 2022 Pro Spec Series, which is like the minor leagues for Formula D. Driver
That's right, there's a drift zone that we need to get to.
Knappich. He's our shop
Get
daddy.
3 stars in
He's
that.
probably the best driver at Donut. Oh, and we gave it a little old Donut Media paint job right here.
We make clothes.
You want a shirt? Dude, I'll get you a shirt. I'll get you a dozen shirts, plus socks. No problem.
Shirts and socks? Hell yeah.
Tap skill. So before they got to work on it, this was a Nissan S14 240 SX. Iron block LS, supercharged with about 800 foot-pounds of torque. Pretty sweet.
That is a huge amount of torque. The LS engine is such a ubiquitous kind of swap engine, right? One of those engines that just is probably in almost any car under the sun. A Lada probably had an LS put in it at some point. Almost certainly not by the Soviets. But some crazy Europeans bought it and gone, I reckon we could put an LS in there. First gear is luckily quite long.
There's your drift zone. Light it up.
Come on. Keep it together, Jow. Get those points. No, don't go in reverse. That's foolish. No, don't go up the hill either. This is not exactly a tour de force. Nope. Oh, come on. Can you cross the finish line? Could I cross the finish line? Guess we're doing it in this direction. We kind of goofed up the game. From our slightly wide angle we approached the finish line at. We had the points by like 1,000. Which isn't a huge amount. But, you know. It was 3 stars. We're having a rough time of this, chat. This is just an embarrassment. Just pretend you didn't see this. I'm a much better driver than I am a drifter. Okay, all the marbles. 1 minute, let's go. Turn around. The trouble is I just kind of hold the finger down and just hope for the best. think we just got 150.
There you go. Bumper to bumper on the Donut Media Formula Drift.
I think we got like
Nissan
150,565.
240 SX. What do you think? Leave a
Something
comment,
wildly
like and
close like that. Well, that was not the button I meant to press. So we did that, so I've got that. Just added it to that. Okay. Less exciting. That's alright. I can probably do that off stream if I am desperate for it. That's not useful. We also do stuff elsewhere, like in Hot Wheels land or what have you. Just quickly before we end, one car we did acquire today was not the Lola. It was the McLaren F1 from 93. 30 years old, just like me. Truly a ridiculous car, this one, in just the terms of like engineering and mechanical achievement. I mean, when you consider it wasn't really until the Bugatti Veyron turned up that this was replaced, at least in the public consciousness, as being the fastest car in the world. Also the fact that it's weirdly practical. Like it's got 3 seats in it. That's one more than the Bugatti has. Wow. Also probably one of the fastest naturally aspirated cars. Obviously, like the Bugatti's got, what, 4 turbos on its quad 6? 4 turbos on its 16 cylinder, so it's got a quad turbo, that's what I was going to say. Lovely, just driving off into the sunset. Think something like that. Beautiful. A beautiful shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't have my character dabbing in front of it, but, you know, can't be 100% perfect all the time. And I think we'll basically go to the garage and call it there. Let's go for a jump. Why not? I took it like a champ. Yeah, I was wondering if it is a manual, like a stick manual. The hand comes off. So it must be. Alright, chat. I am fading fast. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, chat. I do appreciate it, however long it was for. It means a lot that you were that you came here when there are so many other options. I will be live again tomorrow night. We will be continuing our playthrough of Need for Speed Unbound as we try to determine whether we like the game or not. Currently, I'm of the opinion that I like some of the game. Others in the channel are a bit more adamantly in the no camp. Until then, we will raid Acer Wolf, who is currently playing Night in the Woods. I'll go say hi to him. Friend of the channel, Kaser, playing the classic furry game, Night in the Woods. And I hope you have a good rest of your Friday and or beginning of your Saturday until I see you again. So let's go say hi to Kaser, and I'll see you in a little bit under 24 hours. Cheerio.